Hi, Greg Casser here with a video about a subject that's becoming more and more relevant, which is tapping into competitive markets or competing in competitive markets. Why I say it's becoming more and more relevant is because in 2010, it was actually the first year that online advertising spend exceeded offline advertising spend. So what that means is a lot of the large corporates are taking their advertising money and instead of putting it in magazines and magalogs and TV ads and a lot of other what are really inefficient media compared to online stuff as far as tracking and measuring, etc., they're now waking up, or more so waking up, and moving their ad spend across to pay-per-click and banner advertising and Facebook advertising and the likes. So it's becoming more and more difficult for the little guy to compete online unless you're smarter or unless you work in a slightly different way. So I saw a really good blog post the other day from Glenn Livingston and Perry Marshall. I met these guys last year in Maui at the AdWords Masters Boot Camp, which was I can't recommend highly enough. I know Perry's going to run that again. So I saw a blog post video from these guys the other day, and they were talking about the weight loss niche, actually. And Glenn's competing in the weight loss niche, but how he's been able to do it is by tapping into what he calls the soft underbelly of the market. So I said the word emotional before. What I was talking about there is he's actually approaching at the emotional eating segment of the whole weight loss market. So the whole weight loss market is massive, but the people who are just searching for issues with emotional eating is much smaller. So by doing that, there's less people, he knows there's less people competing in that area. And so with supply and demand, the cost per click is going to be lower, and that way you can get to a model where it's more profitable, because realistically, you've got to conserve your spend and obviously maximize your revenues. Yeah, so that's pretty much how to approach a mass market, and so really thinking about what's the niche within the niche is a much wiser way to go. And it's one of those things that you've got to know and practice and implement. Alrighty, wishing you the best of success online. Hope this has been good for you. Cheers, bye.